Team Star back course, we're talking FF7, we're talking Rebirth, and we're here to talk about pre-order bonuses. And this is different than the pre-order bonus you're going to get if you buy the game physically or digitally, which is the Midgar Bengal 2, Mark II, or the Moogle Trio. This is like the bonus item you'll get depending on where you buy the game from. I was asked to do this like a good week or two ago at this point, and I was intentionally putting it off to see if any more would pop up, and weirdly enough, there's just not that many out there. There's, as far as I'm aware right now, as I'm doing the video, there's only like 3 places that offer like an additional item depending on if you buy from them. Polygon even has an article from like 4 days ago that only lists like 3 different items, the ones we're going to talk about in this video. It's pretty strange how, I don't know, the marketing's a little bit weird with Rebirth, where it doesn't feel like they're going in as much as they did with Remake, right? Because Remake was all over the place with marketing, and you could get a pre-order bonus item like literally wherever you bought the game from. Walmart, Target, Best Buy, GameStop, Amazon, the Square Enix store. It didn't matter where you're buying the game. As long as you pre-order the game from somewhere, you were getting some sort of additional item. And now it's like, here's just a couple places. And it's pretty weird to me that not even the Square Enix store itself has a bonus item. That's just strange. I don't understand that. So we previously talked about the controller skin from Amazon in a different video, and I still think this is a pretty damn cool item. I have learned now that it is adhesive, so it's like a sticker essentially that you stick on your controller, which makes a lot of sense, but I just wasn't entirely sure how this worked because I never bought something like this. I'm not the biggest fan of it being like a sticker because my hands sweat a lot when I play like multiplayer games, which I play a lot of. So I feel like, I don't know how good the adhesive is. I don't know how long something like this would last. And I'd said in that previous video that that'd be some pretty cool shit from other places to like top this. And I think we have a few. I guess if you're somebody that just plays like kind of single player games, kind of casual games where your hands aren't going to get sweaty, then that's probably a really good item. And I feel like I wouldn't even want to like use the controller that has this on it. So you'd almost like put it on an additional controller and put that to the side and just have it like a collector's thing. Or maybe don't even open up the sticker controller skin thing at all. I don't know. But for me, this is still a really cool item. It's still a possibility of a place that I might buy it from Amazon. I don't know. But I do think the other items are better. Actually, since we're discussing it, like, you don't even have to really play like multiplayer games or like hardcore games that make you sweat. Like just action RPGs in general, which Rebirth is, it's probably gonna make your hands sweat. You'll be just moving your hands a lot because you're constantly having to fight, right? You're having to push buttons constantly to attack and things. And I just feel like this thing would get worn out. But that's just me. Next pre-order bonus item comes from GameStop, and I was actually told about this a good week or two ago. I think in the comments of the video where I talked about the Amazon controller skin. And if you pre-order the game from GameStop, you actually get a hat. Specifically this hat right here, it's kind of like a trucker cap. It just is solid black with the Final Fantasy VII Rebirth logo on it. I do think it's cool. I'm obviously a hat person. I wear a hat in every goddamn video. This is probably the one I'd get the most use out of all the ones we're going to look at in this video, because I'd actually wear it. I'd actually probably wear it in like every video. It's like a decent candidate for a place that I might buy the game. Again, in some ways, I think this is like the best item because it's something you can actually do something with, you can use, you can wear it, whatever, whereas everything else we're looking at in this video are just kind of collector's items, and they're cool for what they are, but they're just going to sit on a shelf, right, in the background, or a shelf in your house somewhere where you keep your Final Fantasy collectibles or gaming collectibles or whatever. They're just going to sit there, and that's it. Collect dust over time, that's all they're going to do. They're cool to look at, they're cool to show off, but that's all, right? Whereas a hat is something you can actually wear. It'd be kind of cool if they had a t-shirt. It's kind of disappointing there's not a pre-order bonus of a t-shirt somewhere, because that's something else that'd be that's probably what I would do, 100% actually, now that I'm thinking about it. If one of them had just a t-shirt, I don't even give a shit what it is. If it's just a black t-shirt with the Rebirth logo, I'd probably buy it just because that's like something I would wear literally like for the rest of my life or some shit, right? The last pre-order bonus item that I'm aware of right now is from Best Buy. So it's either buying from GameStop, Amazon, or Best Buy if you want to get an additional item. Steelbook case. And it's actually pretty cool because it's a different steelbook case than what you get with the deluxe edition of the game, which also means if you pre-order the game, the physical deluxe edition from Best Buy, you're going to get 2 steelbook cases. Actually, almost forgot to add this, but this is what the inside of the steelbook case looks like, which is that like scene from the end of the recent trailer we got for Rebirth, where it's kind of like a different angle of Cloud attacking Sephiroth within the Singularity. For the collectors out there, this is obviously like the best option, right? A lot of people like to collect steelbook cases. I think Final Fantasy games always come with a steelbook case, or you can get a steelbook case for them with like the deluxe edition or whatever. So this is pretty cool, man. And I for the collectors, I think this is probably the best option, right? Because it's either multiple steelbook cases, or it's a hat or a controller skin. And if you're somebody that wants to collect shit, obviously the steelbook cases are the best option out of all those. It's also good to buy from Best Buy if you want a steelbook case, but you don't care to buy like the deluxe edition. Maybe you don't want the bonus items. Maybe you want to save the money, whatever the case. As long as you pre-order the game from Best Buy, you're still going to get the steelbook case, right? So it's pretty cool that you can pay standard price, $70, and still get one of those. Obviously, with all these, we're talking about the physical edition of the game, and with this game, for some reason, there's a split between what you get by pre-ordering the game, whether it's physical or digital. And since these are all physical, you're going to get also the Midgar Bengal Mark II. I don't know if we know exactly what this is yet in terms of like the stats that it gives you. I think it's been confirmed to be an armor, but there's a bit of confusion when we talked about it previously. Certain websites were calling it an accessory, some were calling it an armor. But if it is an armor, like how much defense and stuff does it give you, but also does it have any sort of bonuses like protection from something potentially, and also material slots. That's a big thing when it comes to any sort of armor. How many material slots are there? How many are connected? And because it's not going to be like an end game armor, it's going to get power crept at some point throughout the game. You're just going to find something that's better. But if you can start the game with an armor that gives you a decent boost to like your stats, but also has like, I don't know, 3 or 4 material slots and some of them are connected, like they'd be really good. Yeah, that's pretty much it, man. I don't know if they're going to have any more go live. We're still like 5 months or so away from the launch of Rebirth, and maybe other websites will have an item available at some point, and if there is, we'll talk about it. I still find it strange that Square Enix themselves aren't offering up one of these for them. Maybe the fact that there's not something on the Square Enix site yet says that there's going to be at some point. Because I don't know why you wouldn't want people to buy from you directly, because it gives you the most money, obviously. And also, like, does Best Buy have some sort of deal with Square Enix for Stb Cases? Because we've seen this with Crisis Core Union. There's only one place that offered a bonus item if you pre-order from them, and it was Best Buy, and you got Stb Case for Crisis Core Union, and now we're seeing that again with FF7 Rebirth. Actually, looking into it, there was also a Stb Case for 16 from Best Buy if you pre-ordered it, which also means if you would have pre-ordered a physical deluxe edition from Best Buy of FF16, you would have also got 2 Stb Cases. So it's got to be like something going forward, right? Crisis Core Union, 16, and now Rebirth. It wasn't like that for Remake. Remake was like patches or something if you bought it from Best Buy, but it seems like now going forward with the franchise, Best Buy is probably the best place to go if you're trying to collect Stb Cases. That'll just about do it for the video, my dudes. I was hoping by the time I made this video, there'd be more options. The only one that's even new that I wasn't aware of until getting around to making the video was the Best Buy Stb Case. I already knew about the hat for a while, and we already knew about the controller skin. Like I said earlier, it's kind of weird they're not going as hard with the Remake, or the Rebirth marketing like they did with Remake. That feels odd to me. There's still a lot of time left, obviously. We still got, 5 months or so. But it's just strange. Like, you think they'd be like, that's not that much time. You think they'd be like, here's a bunch of shit. Here's a bunch of items you can get. They want you to buy it from like 5 different places to get all these different items or whatever the fuck. All I know is when I'm buying the game, it's going to be the deluxe edition. I just don't know yet if I'm going to do physical or digital. I like in-game items, right? So I like the digital deluxe edition because it's giving me like accessories and multiple summons and things like that. But it's also possible that the deluxe edition items, the digital deluxe edition items, can be sold at a later point. They've done that before. They've also given stuff away before. Like when Integrate came out, I think they gave you all like the bonus DLC, like accessories and summons and shit for free with the PS5 version. They might do something here. They might sell them separately. The digital deluxe edition has 2 different summons and some accessories or whatever. They did that with the Yuffie DLC, right? If you pre-ordered the Yuffie DLC, you got the CAC Star weapon for Yuffie. But like right at launch of the DLC, right when it came out, right when Integrate came out, you could just buy the CAC Star weapon separately for like $10, I think it was, which is a little pricey. I'm not a big fan of putting weapons behind paywalls, but they might do something with that too. Maybe you can buy like the Moogle Trio and like the Magic Pot Summon and maybe the accessories as well. I don't know. Actually, before we fully wrap up, because I keep talking here, something that may influence your purchase is that I know for a fact people get games early a lot when they pre-order on Amazon, because I know with Amazon they want to send out the game to try to get it to you on like launch or whatever, and it probably happens when you buy a physical game maybe from anywhere because they're trying to get it to you on launch day. But I know people have, like with Remake was getting out in the wild like a week or so before it even came out. And that might happen with Rebirth. So if you buy the game on Amazon and maybe other places too for a physical copy, you might get it in the mail early, which means you get to play Rebirth before everybody else. So that might influence your purchase too. I don't know. Also, I know people have bought physical copies online and don't get them until like a week after launch. So I don't know. It's kind of like a flip of a coin. You might get it early. You might get it late. Maybe you get it on launch day. I don't entirely know. I've never really bought a physical game online. Anyways, that's the video. Subscribe to the channel if you guys are new. Social networks in the description below. Follow me on Twitter. @YT. That's it. Bye.
Used to care what people thought, but now I care more, and nobody out here's got it figured out. So therefore, I've lost all hope of a happy ending, depending on whether or not it's worth it. So insecure, no one's perfect. We spend it with no shame. We blow that like Coltrane. We in here like low gain or leave it like